Hello, everybody. Hope we're all doing well. It is 4:31 p.m. July 3rd, 2023. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. We're doing this FiveM Roleplay once again. And today we're starting to stream off a little bit different. Not super different, but just a little bit different. So today we are going to be deliberating, and I want to do this on stream, just to have it. You can kind of see how the process goes. But yeah, we have the terror case to deliberate on. I want to, discuss it, see where I'm at with it. Obviously, no decision has been made. God, my game is so loud for me. Obviously, no decision has been made, of course. Because they have to... It's innocence first, right? But they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm not going in with any preconceived notions here. So let it be known that if it goes in against the person's favor, that death penalty is on the table and perma jail is on the table. Now I don't know how Verdin feels about the death penalty. I haven't really made that brain connection yet. But yeah, we wanna go ahead and do our thing. There isn't a ton of people on. I'm also expecting that I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow, or this morning, I guess you could phrase it, very early. If I wake up early after going to sleep early, I'm gonna probably stream immediately so I can get another thing banged out, and then have it for the 5th, I think, where I'd like to actually have some cases done. Because the way I planned the whole deliberation thing is basically deliberate on the day after, outside of court. And then you have the case, that day. But I'm going to have the case when it suits me. It just needs to be before the 8th. And also, out of respect of the district attorney's time, I'm going to try my best. Because they are on a deadline. But yeah, same shit. We're driving where we're driving. I'd like to drive up through Vinewood if I can. Just so I can get to the mountains, quick access. That's why I have this truck, is so I have access to the mountains. And also, if I need to get through something, I do have that metal bar as a little bit of a reinforcement. Alright. Man, I cannot wait until Baldur's Gate 3 comes out. Holy shit, big burp. Yeah, I cannot wait. That's not a bad house. Can I just look at that real quick? Ain't a bad house location, right next to a little park. Probably gonna be fucking stupid price though. I hate Dynasty 8's price. This is so crazy. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, this thing was going to be stupid price regardless. This thing's massive. Massive, perfectly placed, double balcony. A garage. Alright. Yeah, basically what we're doing today is we're just going to be watching my stream. Watching the case, making notes, deliberating, discussing things. We need to discuss... we have a big topic to discuss as well, and that is if the lawyer's testimony is admissible or not. This is a big point in the case, as there is certain information regarding the Patriots Act that I don't have a clear understanding on, that we will be reading on. You understand? So there's a thing called, what is it called? Crime fraud exemption. So hopefully it's under, for the prosecution's case, hopefully it's under their thing, or there's going to be penalties. And also the whole statement is going to be striked. So there is a lot of stuff that could happen here. I just wanted to see, like, how good is the hiding places over here? Because, like, anybody who comes over here is always jumping, right? It's okay. It's not construction enough, though. I mean, I feel like I should be in a construction outfit. I need a construction vehicle. That's what I need. Kind of a fit anywhere thing. It'd be nicer if people didn't see my face all the goddamn time. I don't know where the fuck I'm gonna park this shit. Somewhere close. A dump truck would be great. All right. What is happening right now? Okay, it's a little sus. Oh, Jesus. What is that? That's an automatic, you fucking clown. Jesus. Alright, are we happy with everything here? I'm happy with my vehicle location. It's a little out of place, but if there's cars still spawned here, it's good. Looking pretty good here. Alright. Let's move. You know, I would put my motorcycle in there as like a little hidden thing, but I don't know if that's still against the rules. I would hope so. That rule's awesome. Let's get in. I don't have a backup, so hopefully no one spots it as my vehicle. gonna go ahead and lock up the courtroom. Make sure we're good. We're gonna be deliberating today. Jesus. Nice. Let's go ahead and change my outfit. Is my outfit thing moved? Nope. Let's see. Blue? I'll take blue. And let's go grab some food. And then we can start this bitch. There's a bunch of stuff we need to talk about. That is the point of the deliberation. It's probably not going to be the most entertaining thing. But it kind of needs to happen in a, like, actual manner here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's make sure that we have everything hidden here off my PC. Click, 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 click. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. No, I would rather not show it, but, you know, it is fine. We're gonna go to a public channel in the Discord so no one can see this. I'm gonna move it over here. Okay, check that off. Move this over here. Ooh, some frame drops for me. Nice, frame drops in the courthouse. Why the fuck are you frame dropping the courthouse? That doesn't make any sense at all. That's the last place it should be frame dropping. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open up Chrome. Kill my bookmarks. And then we're gonna look at yesterday's stream. So, all right. All right, reset, please. All right. Okay.
Made a 911 call to let us know about the
Don't know what case this is. This is the first one.
Claire.
To strike the or arrive with it. He then
So how long was the case?
imprisonment per charge.
Hour and a half?
3-16.
There we go. Nice. Alright, I am gonna need my Discord section open. There we go. Alright, awesome. So, how's the... Oh wow, I need to turn my audio up. Jesus, that's ass. Very much. Alright, so before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, I have a few requests to the gallery. First, if you could stop clapping, that'd be great.
My fans, thank you.
So I don't want any outbursts. There isn't going to be a result to this case. So regardless of what's said here today, this isn't going to be a guilty, not guilty, or whatever. That's not going to be happening today. It's going to happen on another date. It's going to happen before the 8th because I would like some time to deliberate on the case. I will note that heavy charges and fines... Ooh, that's actually a good point. Hold on. Let me go ahead and hide all my recommended feed stuff. Because I can't control it. Hide recommended. Live chat. Playlist. Comments. Profile. Yep, there we go. Sorry. And I'm just gonna mute that. Alright. Be given out to anybody who makes outbursts during the case. You have one warning only. This warning affects all of you. So if the person on the far right makes a comment and then someone on the far left makes a comment, I'm gonna be handing out a contempt on the left on the second person, and then anybody thereafter is gonna be getting a contempt of court charge. These do go up to felony, so do be cautious with that. All right, Mr. Nyman, are you ready?
Your Honor,
Yes, Your
I'd
Honor.
like to be out of handcuffs.
Negative.
I'd like to be treated like a human being, please.
Negative. You're staying in handcuffs.
That's very disrespectful.
Well, some of the things you said today were why you're in handcuffs today, sir. Mr. Nyman, that has nothing relevant to the case. Simon, please step forward. What are we here for today?
In the map P-061211, San Andreas versus Randel. We're here for the prosecution of Mike Randel for the following charges: 5 times 3-501 murder.
Okay. Charges being pursued. I'll just put this up for you. Charges being pursued is 5 times first degree. Okay.
Murder in the first degree. It's a class 1 felony with a $65,000 fine. Possible punishments include the death penalty. Charges of 3-602 aggravated assault 4 times. Class 3 felony against emergency services, $6,500 fine, 30 months imprisonment per charge. 3-1602 act of terrorism. It's a class 1 felony, $250,000 fine. Possible punishments including the death penalty or life imprisonment. And 3-1603 planning an act of terrorism. Class 1 felony, $100,000 fine. Possible sentences including the death penalty or life imprisonment.
Okay. So that's what he's pursuing. He is also pursuing, and I'll note this down. Let's make sure we know by DA's office. You could also see the state. $750,000. $450,000 to the state. Oh wait, sorry. Total amount. Okay. Did I spell amounts wrong? 450 of that goes to the state. Okay, I'm just writing from the Discordia here. 250,000 of that goes to the city. I'll bold this. Yeah, that's what I'll do. For repairs and distributed to the victims of the massacre. 50,000 to victim Jeffrey Harris. Cool. With life imprisonment without chance of parole. Or the death penalty. Which, and I'm noting this for you guys, requires a death penalty hearing, which I heard a lot about this morning. And that has a whole other laundry list of shit.
In this case, the district attorney's office is seeking the following: a $750,000 fine, with $450,000 being reamed to the state, $250,000 to the city for repairs of City Hall and distribution to victims, and $50,000 personally to the victim, Jeffrey Harris. As for month sentencing, we are seeking the death penalty or permanent life imprisonment for Mr.
You
Randel.
lying piece of shit. You said no death.
Sir, please refrain from making comments. Thank you.
I would like to just advise the district attorney's office did initially seek life imprisonment during the initial arraignment, but given the ramifications of more evidence that has been presented and has been added to discovery and circumstances, we have increased our requested sentence to the death penalty.
Affirm. You can go back to your desk. All right. We're actually getting into it now. Mr. Randel, I was told that per your discovery motion that you would like to say something. What is that? Would you like to step forward?
Your Honor, I got no idea what you're talking about.
Do you have anything to state in front of this courtroom for your defense?
Other than I'm not guilty, no.
Okay. Mr. Nyman, please proceed. Please proceed.
Of course.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, today we face a grave and horrible.
All right. Opening statement doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters about his opening statement is that it's the same as his ending statement. Basically, what he's going to say, and I'm not going to listen to it because I don't need to, but basically everything he says should line up with his thing, right? It's kind of irrelevant, to me at least, of the opening and closing statement, other than he's just trying to focus the jury, which is what the whole point of it is, to on what was said, and basically guiding them on what was said. I've already listened to it. I don't think I need to listen to it, but if I think it's necessary, I'll listen to the closing.
Horrifying case at a account. Eyewitness twisted.
Statement, please remain silent. Mr. Once again, his shit doesn't matter. Exhibits or witnesses, Nyman?
I'll begin with one of my witnesses. I'd like to call Dimitri Jones to the stand.
Okay, so we're already fucking here. So what we need to find out is does what Dimitri Jones say or state, is it covered by the Patriot Act, which was issued in September 11th, 2001? Is what he said is covered under under that act, and is he allowed to break attorney-client privilege? So, what we should do, so I'm just going to look at the verbatim wording, and I'm not a lawyer, so I don't really understand this stuff, but the verbatim wording of the Patriot Act. The purpose of the USA Patriot Act is to deter and punish terrorist acts in the United States and around the world, to enhance law enforcement investigative tools and other purposes, some of which include to strengthen U.S. measures to prevent, detect, and prosecute international money laundering and financing of terrorism, to subject special scrutiny foreign jurisdictions, foreign financial institutions, and classes of international transactions or types of the accounts that are susceptible to criminal abuse, to require all appropriate elements of the financial system or services industry to report potential money laundering, to strengthen measures to prevent the use of the U.S. financial system for personal gain by corrupted foreign officials, and facilitate the reparation of stolen assets to civilians of countries to whom such assets belong. Below is a brief, non-comprehensive overview of sections of the USA Patriot Act that may affect financial institutions, and there's a lot. So what I want to search up, because this isn't really what it is. Let's see, departmentofjustice.gov. There's nothing in here about lawyers or attorney-client privilege, so I don't know like what his specific was. No. Yeah, I don't really have a good understanding of this, I'm gonna be honest. Can you break attorney-client privilege if the person is a terrorist in the USA? Under what circumstances can attorney-client privilege be broken? When one is informed waiver of privileges by the client or implied waiver of a privileged document by use in his court. Communication between a lawyer and a client are not privileged when the client attempts to obtain legal advice that would facilitate a crime or a fraud. That's weird. Oh, this is Canada. That has no relevancy here. Okay. So something I searched up earlier, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the same fucking answer here, but what are some attorney-client privilege exemptions in the USA? So Wikipedia states what? Exemptions. There are a number of exemptions to the privilege in most jurisdictions. Chief among them are: the communication was made in the presence of individuals who are neither attorney nor client. The communication was made for the purpose of committing a crime. So it has a lot of stuff around the crime. Is a joint defense privilege. No. When the privilege does not apply. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of reading here, and I don't really want to put this on stream. When an attorney is not acting primarily as attorney, but for no. The privilege protects the confidential communication and not the underlying information. For instance, if a client has previously disclosed confidential information to a third party who's not an attorney and gives that same information to an attorney, the attorney-client privilege will still protect the communication to the attorney, but it will not protect the communication with the third party. The privilege may be waived if the confidential communication is disclosed to third parties. Other limits to privilege may apply depending on the situation being adjudicated. Crime fraud exemption. So this is the thing I was talking about. The crime fraud exemption can render the privilege moot when communications between attorney and client are themselves used to further a crime. Tort or fraud. In Clark versus United States, the U.S. Supreme Court stated that, quote, a client who consults an attorney for advice that will serve him in the commission of fraud will have no help from the law. He must let the truth be told. End quote. The crime fraud exemption also does require that the crime or fraud discussed between the client and attorney be carried out to be triggered. The U.S. courts have not yet conclusively ruled on how little knowledge an attorney can have of the underlying crime or fraud before the privilege detaches and the attorney's communications or rescue testimony becomes admissible. Do you think Kenneth is in game? I mean, well, maybe we should review it and see like what he said specifically. Okay. So, like, it sounds like it's probably not. but we need to hear what he said. Demetrius Jones, please step forward and raise your right hand.
Objection, Your Honor. That's my damn lawyer. How is he gonna talk against me?
I don't know why I didn't object when it was
Your Honor, Mr. Jones here has, under attorney-client privilege.
Okay. So, enter. Let's get this on stream. Enter witness Dimitri. I don't know how to spell his name. Fuck. May open a roster. Jesus Christ. I hate words. DOJ roster. How do you spell your name? Demitri. Let me see. Mike Randall's okay.
How is he gonna talk against me?
Your Honor, Mr. Jones here has, under attorney-client privilege, proceeded to waive the privilege as he's been made aware of several information that...
Okay. So, he's stating that the attorney has waived privilege. Okay?
that threat.
So,
Proceeded to waive here has, under attorney-client privilege, proceed...
I'm going to acronym attorney-client privilege. So, ACP.
to waive the privilege as...
I'm going to reference Dimitri Jones, has waived... Wait, sorry, what was the word?
Your Honor, Mr. Jones here has, under attorney-client privilege, proceeded to...
Alright, sorry. Mr. Jones here. Mr. Jones here. It doesn't matter for verbatim quotes, if I'm honest. Is that what he said?
To waive the privilege has, under attorney-client privilege, proceeded to waive...
Proceeded. Under Mr. Jones, under ACP, proceeded to waive
the privilege as he's been made aware of several information that...
because he was made of several...
threaten other individuals' lives.
Wait.
A privilege as he's been made aware of several...
He was made aware. I wonder if that's a problem.
Information that threatened other individuals' lives. As a result, privilege was fully waived. Information that threatened... proceeded
What is
to
he
waive
saying
the
here?
privilege as he's been made aware of several information that threatened other individuals' lives. As...
I'm going to say several points of information. Points of information that endanger other people's lives. That endanger other people's lives.
As a result, privilege was fully waived and...
Result privilege. Oh my goodness. Privilege was fully waived.
Your Honor,
It's
he
no
cannot
longer
waive
entitled.
that right.
It's no longer entitled. Okay, so this is DA. Defense retort. Let's make sure we're bold here. Sit in the chair. Sit in the
Result privilege was fully waived and
Your Honor,
is
he
no
cannot
longer
waive
entitled.
that right.
sit in the chair.
When you're committing acts of terrorism and
Sit in the chair. So, also the lawyer had spoke out of turn and answered for me, which bad. But his argument, his defense originally was not when you're committing acts of terrorism. Please, Dimitri.
Objection.
On what grounds?
That is my goddamn lawyer. I have a right to privacy between my lawyer and myself.
When you commit act of terror, that kind of goes out the window.
So you're saying I lose my right?
when you commit acts of terrorism, it is my duty to make that known to law enforcement.
So he's stating, when you commit acts of terror, it is my duty to report them. Meaning, crime fraud exemption specifically states that crime fraud exemption can render the privilege moot when communications between an attorney and client are themselves used to further a crime, tort, or fraud. But it also, the crime actually needs to be triggered. It needs to be done.
Both as a citizen of the city
Well, you've
and
already
as a
made that known to law
lawyer
enforcement.
working
This
for
is a
the
trial,
Department
is
of
it not?
Justice. I work for the state.
You work for me, goddammit.
Please
I'm
raise
not
your right
private.
hand.
I work for.
Please raise your right hand. Verdin,
Objection.
if you could swear him in. So off the bat, like, I'm not feeling good about letting Dimitri testify here. Like, I'm not sure if the crime fraud exemption is covering him. I don't know how that'll affect the case. Which mean, like, what that means is that I'd have to forget everything that he had said and also deal with that in a separate instance. Okay? So, let me just write down the defense
As a
retort.
result, privilege under fully waived and
Your Honor,
is
he
no
cannot
longer
waive
entitled.
that right.
Sit in the chair.
When you're committing acts of terrorism and
Sit in the chair, please, Dimitri.
Objection.
On what grounds?
That is my goddamn lawyer. I have a right to privacy.
That is my lawyer. I have a right to privacy
Between my lawyer and myself.
between my lawyer and myself. When you commit act of terror, I'm kind of talking to my ass. Then I go.
You
as
made
a
that known to
lawyer
law- You work for me, goddammit.
work for the.
If you
Objection.
could.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay.
Yeah.
Deliberation. Did I spell it wrong? Almost Jason Towers. All right. Thank you very much. What were you objecting on again, Mr. Randel?
Attorney-client privilege. You said he had the right to tell law enforcement, but this is outside that capacity.
Specifically states. Specifically. That. This is out of the scope. Is that what he's saying? All right, thank you very much. What were you objecting on again, Mr. Randel?
Attorney-client privilege. You said he had the right to tell law enforcement, but this is outside that capacity.
He said he had a right to tell law enforcement, but this reffing the court case? I did horrible on the stand? What do you mean? No, you didn't. You're the only one who was actually locked up. You're shit. Reffing the court case. I mean, I'll give you shit once I get to you. Don't you worry. Reffing the court case. But this capacity is that I got lost. What were you objecting on again, Mr. Randall?
Attorney-client privilege. You said he had the right to tell law enforcement, but this is outside that capacity.
I disagree.
So you're saying that lawyers can rat on their clients?
Mr. Randall, as soon as it is waived to the point
Your
where he can
Honor,
speak to law enforcement, it includes speaking to the courts.
Who has that right to waive that?
So at this point, he's right. So far, Randall is right. Technically, the only person who could waive it is him, unless there is a crime-fraud exemption. Right? Okay, sorry, I was typing. So, like, technically it is the client's thing. And per the crime-fraud exemption, because I didn't see anything in the Patriot Act. Okay, that's just saying, like, we got open season on fucking terrorism, but it didn't specifically state anything about privilege. Anything. And a crime-fraud exemption specifically states that it can render privilege moot when communications between an attorney and a client themselves are used to further crime, tort, or fraud. A client who consults an attorney for advice that will serve in the commission of fraud will have no help from the law. The crime-fraud exemption also does require that the crime or fraud discussed between client and attorney be carried out to be triggered. Meaning that just because he did an act of terrorism doesn't give the lawyer the right to break privilege, but if he said, hey, can I have advice to commit this act of terror, then you could. So, this might be thrown out and there might be penalties issued. Let me just ask Sam real quick. If I disagree with allowing the dude's lawyer to speak and revoke the privilege. Privilege is so fucking hard. Privilege. What should be done in that instance? I'm just asking Sam because Sam is really knowledgeable. He's saying it's iffy. If there's no exemption for it, he is about to hurt others. So here's the thing. And I'll know when I listen to what he said. But the thing is was he the one who, was he the only one who knew about it? Like, did it happen to where the attorney was told, hey, I'm going to commit this act of terror. Right? And did someone else know? If someone else knows, and he tells someone about that, that's fine. But what he should have done is taken himself out of the case. But this could be grounds for mistrial. Like that's how serious this could be. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of typing. I knew when he told me. Oh, this is something else. Because everything that I've read about the Patriot Act doesn't say anything specific. Is he protecting people by saying something? If someone else knew, so that's what Sam said. In essence, it comes down to, is he protecting people by saying something? If someone else knew, then no. Yeah, I think my understanding is that the lawyer can only talk about the stuff that would affect human lives. I.e., if he said to his lawyer, hey, I'm going to commit an act of terror at here, and he told police, hey, he's going to commit an act of terror here, then he's fine. But that doesn't give him the right to waive privilege. Let me turn up my game a little bit because I can't hear it. Just so if anyone comes in and talks. Because this is like this is a fine line, man.
Your lawyer does.
So
When you put the lives of people in the city in jeopardy, you have to remember I am a public defender. I work for the state, meaning I work for the government. It is my duty to put them first.
are you objecting to anything else, Mr. Randel?
I object. He can do this in any situation then. How are you supposed to trust your attorney if they're just going to turn your back on you? This is the BS my organization's trying to fight for.
Under the Patriot Act, special privileges are granted in instances of domestic terrorism. In this case, waiving of privilege qualifies.
Okay. Let's look at the USA Patriot Act. Patriot Act special privileges. Wait, what did he say specifically?
This is the BS my organization's trying to fight for.
Under the Patriot Act, special privileges are granted in instances of domestic terrorism.
Let me see. Ah, Jesus Christ, man. This is too much stuff. Alright, special... Oh, there's a PDF. Give me PDF. There's only 4 fucking pages. God, there's so many things, man. It's so much real legal bullshit and acts and stuff. Like, there's so much. Like, I'm just reading, like, all this stuff on, like, the U.S. Patriot Act and specifically special privileges is something I'm not seeing. Oh, hold on. That's something. Okay, what is this based on? Alright, the civil asset of forfeiture of the United States government is awesome. What the fuck is this? This is not a legal site. This is just some bullshit. Special. Yeah, okay. This might be striked. Okay. So yeah, I think that I don't think that the crime fraud exemption makes sense here. And also there is nothing, like, I'm searching up specifically regarding the Patriot Act and attorney-client privilege, and I can't find shit. But I can't find any special privileges. Like, I'll quote it. There's 82,000 results. Like, there is... Like, Jessica, what are they saying? This is just case law. This is not speaking about the Patriot Act. And there's nothing. Okay. So I don't have anything. Alright, let's listen to him for a little bit. This might have to be striked, which means it might have to be forgotten.
In this case, waiving of privilege qualifies.
This is the BS my organization.
Okay.
When you
Back up.
put the lives of people in the city in jeopardy, you have to remember I am a public defender. I work for the state, meaning I work for the government. It is my duty to put them first.
Are you objecting to anything else, Mr. Randel?
I object. He can do this in any situation then. How are you supposed to trust your attorney if they're just going to turn your back on you? This is the BS my organization's trying to fight for.
Under the Patriot Act, special privileges are granted in instances of domestic terrorism. In this case, waiving of privilege qualifies.
I object to that statement.
It's gonna be overruled, unfortunately.
I won't be the first, and I definitely. Down with the system. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, we can move forward. Questions, Mr. Nyman. All right. So, I am going to most likely strike everything that was said by Dimitri here, everything that was referenced by Dimitri here, which might make this trial a mistrial. Probably not, because that's just like we don't have time for that. Like, the scene is already taken way too fucking long. But like that could be an option on the table. So, fuck, man. The thing is I ruled in favor. But the thing is I didn't know any better. Okay. So, my ruling. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Let's pull this up. Ruling. So let's type this in. So my ruling is that Dimitri was correct in advising the police that a potential act of terror or crime was going to be committed. However, this does not give the right to Mike Randel's, is it Randel, like this? Attorney to waive privilege. As that right is given in specific circumstances, such as the client waiving the privilege themselves, or a crime fraud exemption or exception, which, and I won't put this in brackets, which does not apply here. And just to make sure that we're clear, or sorry, the crime fraud exemption would only apply to the crime itself. So it does not apply to waiving the attorney-client privilege in its entirety. Will be issued to Dimitri. All right. Thus, everything that Dimitri has said has been striked from the record. Should I state this? Probably not. However, this does not give the right to Mike Randall's attorney to waive that privilege. I should say in totality. Thus, everything that Dimitri said has been striked from the record. Yeah, this might be like a mistrial. Like this is something else. Because the thing is, it's like there's already concern that like maybe I can't forget like what was said. Like that's already a concern. But another concern is that that it's his testimony is referred to. Right? And I cannot recall what testimony was referred to because I would need to watch it and recall it and then reference that and like basically mark it up like one-on-one to see if that testimony is recalling off of that. But that would also be speculation. I also would like to note that I don't believe that the Patriot Act allows you to revoke ACP. Okay. I could write that in a little bit better, but so I'm siding with the defense here. So let's move on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Quoting you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to remember it.
Stand.
Cecile, step forward, please. Grab the microphone and raise your right hand. All right. Enter Lucille McDougan. We should do rank. Called as a witness. Now I do list all police as expert witnesses.
Corporal McDougan, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Awesome. Thank you. Go ahead and take your seat if you want. Proceed.
Miss McDougan, could you tell us about your involvement with the Mike Randall case we have before us?
Yes, I was the lead and handling detective for the entire case.
We'll write down involvement. Baseball involvement, I hope so. Involvement. What was that? Lead detective and what?
The Mike Randall case we have before us?
Yes, I was the lead and handling detective for the entire case.
Lead and handling detective for the entire case. Do we? No, we don't. Okay.
And what did that entail?
That entailed putting together the report.
Entailed writing the report.
Investigating all the scenes involved.
Sorry. Of the scenes involved. I think you're referring to the RP sense. So maybe you meant evidence?
And adding any evidence into our investigatory format.
Adding evidence to investigative form, I'm going to say, even though you misspoke. Report. Be corrected.
And why don't you tell us about some of that evidence that you found while as the investigator?
There was a lot. We have multiple fingerprints from Mr. Randel.
Multiple fingerprints from Mike Randel. I'm assuming she's going to say on scene.
Various scenes across the state.
On various scenes across the state. I don't know how this is relevant because it's not specifically stated, but those scenes have relevance to the case.
We have some DNA, I believe. Some
speculation.
Shell casings.
Sorry, could you just elaborate a bit more on those scenes?
There was one scene up in the mountains that involved the kidnapping.
Okay. Nice. Thank you. Good correction.
And torture of
Scene was involved with the kidnap. Oh yeah, prepare for the long one. We got 49 minutes of this. Well, yeah, I'd say 49 minutes.
Mayor.
Kidnapping and torture. Torture is always a very hard word for me to spell that I spell perfectly right now. Kidnapping and torture of Mayor, well, Premier, she does correct herself, of, I'm just going to say Jeffrey Harris.
Mayor Harris, at the time he was a mayoral candidate. Candidate. Just put some T's in there. Oh, thank fuck. There was a scene at the courthouse. There was a shooting where
courthouse.
He shot some workers in the lobby.
Is that speculation? Because it sounds like it.
Or where some workers were shot in the lobby.
Nice one, McDougan. I don't know why you're worrying about. That was awesome. Good correction. Some workers were shot at, or were shot in the lobby.
I should say.
This is
and
great at
which we
roleplay,
found
by the
Mr. Randall's DNA on the scene.
Mr. Randall's DNA on the scene. On the acne.
That is all that I can currently recall.
Alright, so I'm going to note this specific thing because it becomes a big point in Mike Randall's defense later on. And he specifically attacks her memory. So, McDougan notes that this is all she can remember.
Were you ever physically present at any of these scenes?
Yes, I was.
I think that's a given. I don't think I need to write that.
And which one was that?
I believe I was present at all of them.
Yep, given.
Why don't you start us off by talking about the kidnapping of mayoral candidate Jeffrey Harrison?
Is that leading? It's not too specific. Well, no, it is, because you're specifically asking for questions around the specific kidnapping of Mayor Harris instead of asking for what the question should be is what happened at the nudist camp scene. And asking for specifics in that way.
What you know about that?
Okay, so I can't
Don't you
remember
be tired? I'm more tired than you, past Jeremy. Grow a set. All right, I understand you stayed up for way too long yesterday, and that's why I'm tired today. But grow a set.
exact
Come on.
date. I believe it was in May.
She notes that she does not remember the exact date. I don't need to write that.
Myself and Detective May were asked to meet at MRPD to meet with Deputy Chief Seed.
Not
And
relevant.
upon meeting there, we were informed that mayoral candidate Harris had been kidnapped, along with
McDougan was informed that Harris was kidnapped. At MRP informated? Harris was kidnapped. Cool.
possibly other important public figures. We were told something about a judge possibly being kidnapped.
Other. Was it high up figures that did
Had
words?
been kidnapped, along with possibly other important public figures.
Alongside possibly speculation, but she's speaking to what she was told, so that's, I don't know, it's loosey goosey. God damn it, I forgot what she said again.
Along with possibly other important public figures.
Important public figure.
We were told something about a judge possibly being
A judge being kidnapped was referenced.
kidnapped, and some lawyers being kidnapped. We immediately launched an investigation to try to track down and find the mayor. We checked multiple locations throughout the
Investigation was launched. You should have said search. We began searching. I mean, that's what she's saying happened, so I'm just going to paraphrase and say that that's what she's saying. Because that's what she's saying.
state.
Sorry. In this case, who is we?
It was myself, James May, I believe James Russell,
Objection,
and John
Your Honor.
Seaton.
Stop talking, please. Go ahead with your objection.
Speculations. I hear a lot of beliefs rather than certainty.
Do you have an argument against that, Nyman?
Yeah, no, I'm going to agree with that, Your Honor. Ms. McDougan, if you could rephrase your
Sustained.
answers to only what you know.
Sustained.
I know myself was there, James May was there, and John Seed was there.
If I say alongside again, I'm doing it. Alongside James May, John Seed, and herself.
Okay. And please continue. You mentioned you checked multiple locations during that investigation. What happened further from there?
She did not mention that.
So
Well,
at
she did.
that point, we noticed that there was a tweet put out by a Twitter account known as Big Rick Army, who we
You lost me. Yeah, this is gonna be a 2-day deliberation. There's no way. Like, this is already melting my fucking brain.
I know myself was there,
I'm gonna be doing it really early tomorrow. Because I gotta get this shit done.
James May was there, and John Seed was there.
Okay. And please continue. You mentioned you checked multiple locations during that investigation. What happened further from there?
So at that point, we noticed that there was a tweet put out by
We noticed a tweet put out
a Twitter account known as Big Rick Army.
by quote a tweeter account. Quote Big Rick Army.
Me, who we confirmed to be Mike Randel.
We confirmed to be Mike Randel. How? I'd love to know.
Later,
Later.
it tweeted out the location that the mayor was being held at.
Pretty
and we
important.
immediately moved to that location to find the mayor, and we called for additional backing patrol units.
And at that location, what did you find?
We found Mayor Harris laying on the ground. With extensive injuries. We found multiple bomb-making plans and bomb-making materials on the
Making plans and materials.
table.
Wait. What?
Extensive injuries. We found multiple bomb-making plans and bomb-making materials on the table, on a table inside of the location. There was a list
Fine.
of prominent political figures.
I wonder if he was hunting me. Wait. Hold on. 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, I just recalled something. Hold on. I need to connect these dots real quick. Live. Wait, no, it would have been a video, right? Would it? Or did I not make that a video? No, I wouldn't have. That would have been in progress. So, do you remember when there was a vehicle, like, circling the courthouse? And it was like an old-ass truck and it had 2 individuals in it? It could have been them. When was that? That was before I went to Newfoundland, right?
Cut out there a second ago. You said
Yes.
all the shooting was happening.
Gotta run the garage in, which is fine. It's me being paranoid always. Just doing HUD stuff, of course. Hard. Okay. I'm paranoid. Why am I paranoid specifically here? Where's it gone now? The way I'm gonna play this is pretty overpowered. Right there, so just so my head's beeping. Nah, this isn't where I parked it. No. No, this isn't where I parked it. This is the conversation. Let me see. Let me just hide that, please. No. Oh, fuck. Hold on, I'm just hiding stuff. There we go. There we go. We're good. I'm just curious on if these were the guys. Just that you're guilty. That's not it. That's not it. I don't think this is it. I know it's a little bit of a scope, but I just want to see this. There it is! Dude. I fucking found it! Let's go. Are these the guys? They said it was a month ago, right? Holy shit, is this where my archetype of being paranoid actually worked out because I was actively being hunted? I know there's a clip. There's a thing in here. Dude, that's Lost MC. Hang on. You see this? This little strap here. think. With can't be local. My vehicles. I am back. Too. I know I get a really good angle right over here. Fuck. Too far. Can't fucking see. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Oh god, you can't see.
Bro, hurry up.
Not enough time.
You bitch.
Or I don't know.
Tell me you got a good angle. It's
Is
better.
it 2 times? It is 2 times. Is that 2 times? It is 2
I can't
times.
see the fucking fat bitch in the side.
Is that 2 times?
It looks
is
like a Bravo mic in
times.
the passenger. Hold on, let's go back. Because if this is true, I was actively being hunted and avoided it because of how paranoid I am. Because he was hunting public officials.
There's a few. Who is the?
I can't see. Dude, I think it was him. I think it was him. Like, I think it was him. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked.
Attached to the wall. And bomb making materials on the table, on a table inside of the location. There was a list of prominent political figures.
Prominent political figures. I'm still debating on it. Like, if this goes in the way of him being guilty, like, I don't know if I'd ever agree to death penalty. Just because, like, I don't know. Like, that's a lot.
Attached to the wall. And upon checking for fingerprints on the scene.
Shut up, Jeremy.
And upon checking for fingerprints on the
Checking
scene,
for
we
fingerprints.
found Mr. Randall's.
Okay.
One moment. The reason why I'm transcribing it kind of like this in jot notes is so I can read it and then understand it verbatim.
Sorry. What could you tell us about June the 12th?
Jesus, that's
June the 12th.
Sorry. Your Honor, is it okay if I provide a bit of backing information? The dates are a bit messy.
If you could specify what your question is instead of a vague date.
Could you tell us about the arrest of Mike Randel?
The arrest of Mike Randall. I'm gonna keep it to what I know. I know that we chased him all across the state before. He we chased him all across the state with his wife Paula Randel.
The district attorney probably should clarify here, stating where it was the wife with him or was it the wife with you?
Who was driving the vehicle?
Never mind, McDougan did it.
Mr. Randall was in the passenger seat. And eventually the chase ended at Pillbox in a shootout between Mr. Randall
with a shootout
and vehicle. Mr. Randall was in the passenger seat. And eventually the chase ended at Pillbox in a shootout between Mr. Randall and Paula Randall and multiple officers.
Multiple officers.
Sorry, multiple officers. Was anyone injured during this?
Yes. It was myself,
Who's
James
leading?
May, and there was another 2 officers who I can't recall the names of.
And these injuries, were they? What was the severity of these injuries?
They were decently severe.
What does decently severe mean? Server? Is that how you spell severe? Is it just one of those English words that has like 60 different meanings depending on what context it is?
We were struck by bullets fired by Mr. Randel and his wife.
And finally, what do you know about the City Hall massacre?
No.
So
Doesn't
I believe this was sorry, I don't believe. I know this was after the whole scene involving Mayor Harris. We went down to City Hall to speak to you. Actually, you weren't here, but upon arriving on scene, we saw multiple shell casings on the ground. And multiple dead bodies.
And multiple dead bodies
From
Jesus.
workers that handled things in the lobby. We saw a
Oh yeah, I saw remnants of
it
that.
was
myself.
cigar butt on the ground inside as well as outside of the courthouse.
Jesus, this is long ago. Oh,
It was.
And when we swabbed the cigar butt for DNA, we found Mr. Randall's DNA on it.
Dude, this is so long. We all this is 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
No further questions this time, Your Honor.
thank you. Do you have any
Oh my
cross-examination
God.
I
questions?
do, Your Honor.
Go ahead, step forward, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Do you often leave out key information?
Yes, this is a very relevant to his point. He's attacking the memory of the officer and thus attacking her statement and her whole thing in its entirety. As attacks go, like this is a pretty sound place to start because like otherwise like what are you specifically attacking here? And also the question he's asking is badgering, so I'm not gonna read it.
From your reports?
Objection, badgering.
Your Honor,
Sustained. You are badgering the witness. Please ask your questions.
In a different tone, you should have
Ma'am.
said that.
Who were the 4 officers that were injured at Pillbox?
As I stated previously,
Who were the 4 injured officers at Pillbox?
it was myself, James May, and there were 2 others I cannot recall the names of.
Why aren't you able to recall those names?
Okay, let me just do it like this. L. But I don't want to write it verbatim because it's going to take too goddamn long.
because I was shot and sustained a small amount of memory loss.
So you're saying you received a memory loss, but you're testifying about this case.
That's badgering, right?
I received a
You're saying you received memory loss, but you are testifying in this case. Seal responds with, I received
small amount of memory loss. The injuries weren't that major, but they did cause me to not recollect
Can't spell recollect.
pieces from the scene. As common in cases of major trauma.
That's pretty good for Randall's case.
Yep, I agree, Verdin. Wait, sorry, I missed.
You know,
Like
I was too busy complimenting
pieces
myself. I'm
that
sorry.
major, but they did cause me to not recollect pieces from the scene. As common in cases of major trauma.
That's pretty
not
good
relevant.
for Randall's case.
do you know if any other officers documented the scene?
Objection.
Calls for speculation. Granted. Sustained.
I'm fucking on one today. Jesus Christ. I'm definitely getting a little bit better at this. At least with objections. Calls for speculation, yeah.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Alright,
Holy
we'll
shit.
find your seat. Do you have any other questions, Mr. Nyman, or do you want to?
Yeah, I just got one question.
I'm doing so
You
good.
did state you have memory loss, but is there any doubt that the person involved with the shooting at Pillbox Hospital was Mike Randel?
Any doubt that the person involved in the shooting at Pillbox was Mike Randel?
No, there was not a single other person in there, and we had locked the hospital down.
Good.
No further questions.
Redirect.
Good redirect, yep.
Thank you. You can return to your seat, Miss McDougan. Next witness or exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor, I think I'll just rattle through these exhibits now.
Oh, here we go. Okay, Jesus Christ, there's so much shit. Here we go. You want to see some bullshit? Here we go. Let's go. I'm going to open up every single exhibit in order. 1A. 2A. 2B. 3A is the report. I already have that. 4A. 4B. 5A. 5B. 6A. 6B. Lots and lots and lots of stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'd first like to present, let's start with Exhibit 5. A, lab report of shotgun shells.
5A.
Okay.
Sorry, as you can see in this exhibit, it is a lab report of shotgun shells returning to
Wait,
Mike
5A.
Randel.
Sorry.
Dictate.
Hang on. Which one's 5A? I did this wrong. Number 4 from the back.
Sorry, as you can see in this exhibit, it is a lab report of shotgun shells returning to Mike Randel. located, the location was found at City Hall.
Yep, per the evidence ran, that is what's being seen. I am concerned that a status is listed as being analyzed.
Looks like fingerprint matches record of Mike Randel. Fingerprints on shotgun shells.
Has that been updated?
That simply refers to at the time of the report underway, it was still being analyzed. The case is not entirely closed until following. At this time, it's still available in their labs in case they need to continue analysis. Once this trial is concluded, it will be concluded because it is no longer open for analysis.
Okay.
There's so much
The next
here.
I'd like to provide
Jesus
is
Christ.
Exhibit 5B, photographs of shotgun shells. As we can clearly see, these are shotgun shells and photographs taken at City Hall. You can see they are the same model, same make, same casings.
And how?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to take a small break, and by small break, I mean like a 30-minute break, because I need to work out, and I know that by the time I go to end this stream, it is going to be, I'm going to be going to bed. And I'd rather, and I'm already exhausted, so I'd rather just get it banged out now. I'm going to be streaming for another hour at least, just deliberating here. We will be streaming late tonight, like maybe at 4 a.m. So keep an eye out for that. But 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you enjoyed the music. And I will have to log out of the server. But yeah, I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Quick 20-minute. It should be 20 minutes. That's usually how long it takes me. So we're aiming for 6:25. Or sorry, we're aiming for 6:30 my time. So that's 8:30 EST. So yeah, I'll be back in a bit. Alright. These suck. Fuck me. Alright. Let's get back to it. He's not guilty, says typical. Of course. We can't come to the conclusion of same model and same make based off the shotgun shells. Is it just because it's a shotgun?
Shotgun shells do have differences between their shapes, the coloration. These ones are the same shotgun shells as presented in the lab report.
Okay. Okay.
I'd now like to point to...
I feel like the exhibits... I feel like we can look at them like solo. Like I don't think we need to really look at this like with a thing. I think the only thing we really need is testimony. All right, we're going to be switching over to Crane at some point. This is going to be great. All right. So this isn't relevant. This is just a signed affidavit, or sorry, signed warrant. I don't fucking care about that. This is his Twitter stuff, which if they can prove that the Big Rick Army is him, then, you know, it shows a lot of stuff. Like, he's claiming that he did this. So I'd love to know how they prove that. This last one isn't relevant, apparently. Oh. I mean, I did ask about it. It's on the TV. So cigar butts, like obviously he was on scene, like we know that. Yep. Yep. I actually ended up cleaning up this scene, which is funny. Fingerprint, yep. Is the Espionage Act in the law book? If it's not, you can kiss my ass. Alright, sorry. So, on the evening of May 19th, I was providing security, 127 Nora, for the courthouse during a case request of Sergeant Jardine. As I was watching the case, I overheard two individuals having a conversation in a gallery. One mentioned something about shooting a judge. Rushed inside the lobby and saw Mike Randel as well as an individual in yellow walking down the stairs. Attempted to stop Mr. Randel and he fled. The guy in yellow stayed to answer questions. Just met Mr. Randel, who had introduced himself as Mike, which confirms that Mr. Randel was the individual who made those threats, given his appearance, name, and voice. While I was talking to an individual in yellow, shooting erupted from both inside the courthouse and outside the courthouse to the northwest. Officers quickly neutralized the threat, pushed towards the source of the shots, initially coming up empty in my efforts. At this point, a white Porsche pulled up and said they saw an individual on the roof. I went to the area and saw Mr. Randel standing there, who fled upon me asking him to stop. Lost eyes. After the shooting, I was talking to some individuals in the courthouse who included Mr. Randel's lawyer, who also confirmed the fact that Mr. Randel was one who shot. Is this covered by ACP? No. It's not. Ended up taking people's blood and forcing some to drink the blood against their wills. Why wasn't Desmond Jenkins set to testify? What the fuck? We're asked to meet at MRPD? Oh, the person that McDougan's were getting is Mike Murphy. Good to know. Mayoral candidate Jeffrey Harris has been kidnapped along with other important public figures such as a judge and a lawyer. We searched in multiple areas based off a riddle we received from Mike Randel and came up empty-handed. The location was released on Twitter by one Big Rick who has been confirmed by multiple trustworthy sources as Mike Randel. Okay. This doesn't mean shit. This doesn't mean anything. Who the fuck are these sources? Why are you not including it in your narrative? It is important. Don't make me strike this. It better be said in the courthouse, because I don't remember. We rushed there as soon as possible, set up a perimeter, moved near the main gate while others went through the backside entrances. Myself and 102 were setting up the gate. We're setting up to move the compound, sorry. One individual came up running to us. We detained him. Then more people started to arrive at the compound. Given the amount of people, we called for a patrol. Back up before immediately moving in and clearing the building. Closest to where we came in. Upon reaching the top floor, the loft/bar, we saw the candidate laying on the ground with significant injuries. Man, this is like saying it verbatim. Who wrote this? Okay, that makes sense. It was McDougan. Dimitri Jones next to Mike Harris. Or sorry, Mr. Harris, Jeffrey Harris. We detained Mr. Jones. Wait, sorry. The lawyer was there? I didn't know that. Detained Jones and anyone else at the compound, brought them to the loft. On the table or loft with materials making explosives, city hall blueprints, and prominent political figures in the state. Everyone on scene was questioned, didn't know anything to claim to come help Harris after seeing Big Rick's tweet. So we released no charges. Yes. Responded to an explosion at the Fleeka Bank. Found multiple dead locals killed by a nail IED, so a dirty bomb is what you would refer to that. Vault or the teller desk was not hit, so this was not a robbery or financially motivated. We found Mike Randel's DNA on a fragment of the bomb we recovered. A few hours later, coordinating security efforts at the courthouse for a trial. Mike Randel attempted to draw officers away from the building, however, only managed to lure 205, whom he drugged and posted on Twitter. Dude, how the fuck does this happen, guys? The entire rest of the trial, Mike Randel tried to draw our focus away from the building. At one point, he blew up me as well as a few other officers patrol. Oh, he blew up my patrol car and other people's control car. Mike Randel released to Dimitri Jones, texting the words needle and sending bomb emojis. And then he had another mayoral candidate. Great. Mike Randel is politically motivated, radical, domestic terrorist, supposedly great. Yeah, whatever. Dude, why was the lawyer there? Like, why was he on scene? Like, was he one of the people who came to help? I'd love to know the answer to that shit. Oh, fucking Christ. Let me just... Oh, that's too fucking loud. Oh my. Ah! Okay. All right. Okay. That's fine. Still could be faked, but he did not use that as an argument at all. So. Okay. And that's it. And there's a bunch of fucking pictures of everything on scene, which is fine. I'm not gonna go look through those. Jesus fuck. Alright. Skip. Continue.
All right, Mr. May, or Lieutenant May, why don't
This is Will, and it could have been someone else.
You.
Thank you very much. Alright, you can find your seat or stand. It's up to you. Go ahead, Mr. Naman.
Mr. May, do you mind telling us your name and your occupation?
My name is James May. I am a lieutenant and the head of the Criminal Investigations Division within the Los Santos Police Department.
Lieutenant, why don't you tell...
Alright, you can find your seat or stand. It's up to you. Go ahead, Mr. Naman.
Mr. May, do you mind telling us your name and your occupation?
My name is James May. I am a lieutenant and the head of the Criminal Investigations Division within the Los Santos Police Department.
Lieutenant, why don't you tell us what you're aware of regarding, or what you've experienced regarding this Mike Randel?
I mean, I can go through like the timeline of events to my best recollection, or.
I'm sorry, I'd like to clarify, Your Honor. In this case, James May is an. Sorry.
Expert witness? Is that the word you're looking for?
Sorry. I'm having a thing going on. Is an expert witness on regarding this information. He has been one of the lead detectives and oversee it all.
Yeah, I generally think that the majority of police officers, and when I say majority, I mean all of them are expert witnesses, but let's call him an expert. Double expert. Continue.
All right, Mr. May, or Lieutenant May, why don't you tell us what you know about from start to finish? Give us the timeline regarding.
Oh, this
case.
is gonna suck. This is just gonna be a thing, man.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm not
Because I remember this taking so fucking long.
great with dates, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go with the events, not necessarily on the dates, as I'm not aware of the dates at the time.
I'm gonna note it. James notes that he is not good with dates. I don't know why he's telling us so much about his personal life, but hey.
My first recollection is myself and McDougan were in MRPD when we got a call from, at the time, Deputy Chief of Police John Seed, asking to meet us outside in the parking lot as there was a possible case that we had
not
to deal
relevant.
with. At that time, we
what I
met
need.
with Chief of Police Atkins, who had information and received calls about the kidnapping of the mayoral candidate at the time, Harris, and that we, being myself, McDougan, the Chief of Police Atkins, and Seed, need to go and try to find him. So we eventually we started off going up into the Grapeseed area looking based off of Twitter, tweets,
Not relevant.
information. The tweets were coming from the Big Rick Army
We've
Twitter
already
account.
we've already know
that
we
same
already
one that you're
know
talking
that.
about earlier, and also there were some phone calls and text messages that were
It's just
sent
backing
to Chief of Police Atkins as well, that we were using as our basis for the investigation. Eventually, there was a tweet put out from that Twitter account that kind of gave us enough information that there's the altruist camp. I can't remember exactly what to call it, up in the Polito Sandy area, and we believe that was the location in which case Harris was being held, or at least where we were going to find him. At this point, the four of us that I previously stated, along with James Russell, he became involved at this point as well, met us up there, went to go scope out the camp and try to find him. We did see some vehicles, and it was definitely a bit chaotic,
So much
as every single person in the city had seen the tweet of him up in that area. And so while the entire time we were up there, went to go scope out the camp and try to find him. We did see some vehicles, and it was definitely a bit chaotic,
So much
as every single person in the city had seen the tweet of him up in that area. And so while the entire time we were up there, there was, I'm going to make the assumption of around 10 civilians, if
speculating on how many,
not more, that were involved, also looking for Mayor Harris, or mayoral candidate Harris at the time. We did.
I'm not going to write that down.
Breach one of the buildings where we found mayoral candidate Harris lying next to a table in a pool of blood. I believe there was, not believe. No, I remember there were saw marks. And he was definitely injured pretty badly. And on the table next to him was a bomb-making plan, plans to make explosives, and then but those bomb making plans, I believe they were ran. I'm realizing now I don't think they're in the report, so I will leave this out actually. There was also a list of potential, not potential, important political individuals that McDougan said earlier.
Well, I wonder if I was on that list. Hey, can you tell me if I was on this list? If you're in here, typical. Is that too much information? I should have made the list, right?
That was on the location. We took the reports of all the civilians on the scene, let it up there. At this time, we had an idea that it was me, Mike Randel, considering the Big Rick Twitter account.
The list of potential important individuals at the nudist camp. Was I on that list? I better been on that fucking list. I'm gonna be mad. I'm an important individual. They said you had a list in the altruist camp. He didn't even include it, man. Fuck.
Political, so I will leave this out actually. There was also a list of potential, not potential, important political individuals that McDougan said earlier. That was on the location.
Just vague.
We took the reports of all the civilians.
I'd like to pretend that I'm
a there.
important
At this time,
government
we had
official.
an idea that it was me, Mike Randel, considering the Big Rick Twitter account was heavily present, along with the information that was provided to us by Atkins about the individual he was speaking with. Shortly after this, we got calls of shotguns being fired at City Hall, or this building, in which case we left that scene and came down here where we found all the multiple individuals.
I had more questions and stuff that I wanted to ask, but something came up, so I was unlimited on time. For the court case? You mean? I mean, this could go to, like, I don't want to say too much, but, like, there might be questions that I have. in character. So like this could go to where like I deliberated and I could ask for witnesses to be recalled. You know? And also if there's any like concern of a mistrial, then the trial restarts with a different judge. A mistrial would be fucking chaos, I'll tell you that. Cause you'll learn this later. Typical. Mind you, I haven't really decided yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm striking everything your lawyer said. And I'm pretty sure I'm striking everything, and punishment's going to be issued for breaking attorney-client privilege, which means everything he said was striked, and the jury, and in this case me, I directed myself to forget everything they said and not use it in my deliberation. That's where I'm at right now, just off the basis of, the Patriot Act actually doesn't cover that, or anything I researched doesn't actually cover that. And the thing that I did find, which is the, it's called the crime fraud exemption, means basically that, and this will be said at the beginning of the case anyway, so it doesn't affect anything. But basically what it means is that like he was right to say, hey, I think Mike Randel is going to like blow up something. Like that's fine, but him testifying on everything you said ever, that's not. Yeah, I had to actually like go and research a bunch of shit because that's a bunch of shit. Like for reference to like how vague that whole conversation is, Austin didn't know anything about it. And Austin's like our big brain law dude. Anyway.
Locals that worked here who had been shot with shotgun shells.
Not relevant. We've already
we found fingerprint evidence on scene from the shotgun shells, as long as a cigar butt inside the courthouse.
I decided to
all of the evidence and all the forensic details. Here, yeah, all good. So we collected all the evidence: shotgun shells, fingerprints, cigar butts here, and on the previous scene as well.
Spoke about this.
That evidence did come back in the lab to Mike Randel, both fingerprints from the shotgun.
What I'll say is James confirms that evidence was processed on the town hall scene.
Shotgun shells along with DNA that was found on cigar butts.
Yep.
There was another scene that I was not involved with, as I was not in the city at the time, where McDougan was the investigator on scene, where there was a bomb that went off inside of a Fleeca bank.
Speculation, yeah. On what grounds?
He was not there. How is he knowing? This is like hearsay or whatever the fuck you call it.
There's photographic evidence that was collected, and physical evidence as well. That was provided.
Are you speaking to the photographic evidence, or are you speaking to what you actually witnessed?
I'm speaking to the photographic evidence and evidence that was on the scene that I analyzed in the lab.
We are going to strike that. Speak to what you specifically saw, not what evidence you're specifically referencing.
Let's direct back to the kidnapping of Mayor, or sorry, the City Hall incident.
You've already went over this.
So, you said you found DNA of...
I basically he's laying a road right now, and he's just getting the other officer to back up what the other officer said. So, like, that is a thing, right? I don't know if I need to note it.
Yes, there was DNA that was found on the cigar, but that was left inside of the town hall.
Did you find anything else there?
There was shotgun shells, fingerprints, and there was also, I am remembering now, we found a message that was left, I believe on the outside of the, I can't remember the exact location where the town hall, but it was left in the town hall area.
See, this is relevant.
That's, I think it related to the Big Rick Army account. I can't remember 100%, but I remembered it said that this place is going to be leveled soon, and very bad grammatical errors, you know, spelling
Objection,
mistakes.
Speculation. He physically said he can't remember.
Your Honor, he's speaking merely to the exact wording. He
I
still
can't remember
remembers
the exact
the
wording,
main.
Which he said he
He
can't
still
remember,
remembers
so
the
we should
main
not be
message of it.
assuming.
I mean, it should be in those reports, and
Mr.
you
May,
probably
please
have
just,
the pictures.
just.
Okay.
Be quiet, Mr. May.
This
hold on,
kind
hold
of.
on, I'm not done.
Oh.
I haven't sustained an objection. I'm thinking. So you're saying that he doesn't. He said he didn't remember what was specifically said, and then he's saying what was said. Correct?
No, he's saying he doesn't remember well enough to directly testify to the exact wording. He does
He's
remember
testifying
the
right now.
general the general message that was written.
I'm going to sustain the objection. Move on. So that was actually like, I don't know if that was a good sustain, but it does remind me, because this is a point that I have had a concern about, which is, and it will be referenced later, but it's this picture. So here's the thing. This is articulable evidence to say that the Twitter account is owned by Mike Randel. Mind you, it was never stated that it wasn't at any point. So the exhibits prove that. So I'll note that. Okay. Jesus, there's just so much.
Okay.
Regarding that message, not regarding what was written, using the words, was the handwriting identifiable?
Negative. We did not.
How does it prove it? So basically, so first of all, it was never brought up by you, out of anything, for any objection, to state that it wasn't the Twitter account, like, there was nothing to say that from your side that it wasn't yours as a start, right? But this proves it, because your DNA was found on scene. So this is a courthouse scene, right? And this is a note you left. So it says Big Rick Army. Okay? So the fact that this was here, and the fact that a shooting had just happened, would be more than cause to state and come to the conclusion that these things are linked. Okay? Mike Randel's DNA was found on scene. Mike Randel's fingerprints were found on scene on the shotgun shells. We could jump to that conclusion without too much. Right? They also forgot to mention the one at the back. But, you know. So, like, that is one. And also this, without any doubt, maybe there's a doubt there, but also these pictures, which were taken off your Twitter. So this picture here was taken off your picture, taken off your Twitter. And this picture right here, and this picture, if you look really closely, let's see how much we can look. Jesus. I'm no forensics expert, but if you look at the nose there, look at the eyebrows being like really low down. You can't see the hairline. And if that was in fact taken off the Twitter, which I believe it was, then yeah. And there was also no argument brought up to say and attack that whole argument. So this is that picture. Right? So that's the picture, and then that's two pictures that was taken off your Twitter, and then that's your mugshot. It's gonna be a fan account. Yeah, that would have been a good argument in the moment, but the thing is like, I would have saw through that right now because of the evidence they have. That argument would have helped
For sure.
The handwriting. We just tried to figure out what the message was meaning.
Why not? Is my mic
Should I continue?
lower, by the way?
They should have fucking subpoenaed you. I don't know why the fuck they didn't do that. We have that system. They should still do it. Like, your phone is accessible. Like, that would have been beyond a reasonable doubt from the begin with. But they didn't do it. Sometimes people forget about that. Like, the fact is like, that would have made it so much easier. Because, like, if the fact isn't that you're arguing against something, right? Like, if you have pictures of the downed mayor in your phone, so much easier, right? Like, the question that McDougan has memory issues is not even a factor, because we're already, like, now what we're discussing is if someone could steal your phone and plant pictures on it. And, like, that, like, the officers involved are lying, and all the evidence was planted, and all that, and all the DNA, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I haven't decided if there's a doubt yet. I'm kind of just transcribing right now. I'll decide if there's a doubt at all later. Right? I'm just saying there isn't a doubt in my mind at this very moment when it comes to the Twitter thing. Just based off of the evidence.
So,
I feel like I'm
at that scene,
quiet.
did you find any other messages that you might be able to recall?
No, and that was the only message that I can recall that we
Am I
found.
quiet?
Shut up,
I
Jeremy.
look quiet. I'm
As
gonna
I can
turn myself up a
recall,
bit
it mentioned Big Rig
to
Army,
70.
in which case that was another connection we had to the Twitter account that we used in order to find Harris on the previous scene. Oh, not that.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to present. It's going to be Exhibit 6B.
I just
Sure
don't want to
did it.
redirect then. Go ahead and take a seat. Take your seat, Simon.
Over
Back of
there?
the witness. Yeah, back of the witness stand. Showing him this?
I want to verify if this is the same evidence that.
It's just looking at
The
exhibits,
evidence
and I
that I
don't
was
care about
referring
that.
to earlier.
Terrorism.
There should be from that specific scene, not that I can recall. The from the specific courthouse scene here with the shotgun shells, that was the only evidence we found on this scene. However, we did find more DNA evidence.
It's not relevant to what I'm doing right now.
Cross-examination, Mike Randel. Do you have any questions for him?
Yeah. Actually,
Oh.
no, I don't, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's when you had to go, I guess.
Well, there's no point to redirect then. Go ahead and take a seat. Take your seat. All right. Anything else to present, District Attorney?
Yeah, I'd like to call Bobby Dean to the stand.
When will he fucking stop? Like, come on, District Attorney. Just end it. End it for us all. There's so much information. Holy shit. I think he only asked a few questions of this guy, so.
Bobby Dean, please step forward, grab the megaphone, and raise your right hand.
You know, I have barbecue upstairs, and I'm not eating it because I'm reviewing this. How long is this?
Bailiff, please swear in.
Well, it's 5 minutes. Oh god. And then witnesses get recalled. But there was only a few questions. So we've done this in 16 minutes.
The witness.
That's good.
Man, this is why I
Dean,
did
please raise
this.
your right hand.
It is.
It's so fun.
You swear to tell the whole truth.
Okay. Fucking page break. Enter Bobby Dean. As well.
Sorry. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Under
Yes,
penalties
I-
of perjury.
Thank you very much. You can either be seated or you can stand. It's up to you. It's whatever makes your ears work better. Proceed.
Mr. Dean, why don't you tell us your involvement with the arrest of Mike Randel?
It's so complicated.
Just
for
the
me to do
moment
this.
of the arrest, or leading up to the arrest, or the day
Just
of the arrest.
overall your involvement with the arrest.
So, I got a radio comm from 104 James
Not
May
relevant to me.
to
What are you looking at?
he was requesting additionals to
Security
go
image
to his
sucks.
area because he was notified Mike Randall was in the area and possibly up to a terroristic act.
I think that is a little bit relevant to me at this very moment. Was told that Mike Randall was potentially up to a terrorist act. I still haven't seen the reason on why there was terrorism. Like, maybe I'm missing something.
We actually caught him driving with his wife down the freeway, and that
Didn't
was
we
when
already
he took.
speak about this? Or am I just remembering yesterday? No, it was spoke about on from McDougan. Which, by the way, I'm glad that this is the nicest part of my notes here, as that will be useful when I speak or when I read this again, and then make my decision
Took off.
or decide if there's going to be a fucking mistrial, because it's always in the air.
From there, we ended up losing him, and moments later, we sought him again, and we pursued him again, and somehow we ended up losing him again, and then
Is the pursuit really
later
relevant?
on,
I mean, it's relevant to the
20 minutes
question,
later,
but is it relevant
we
to my
found
deliberation?
him again,
I'm so tired.
and as we were trying to apprehend him,
Me
he
too.
led us to Pillbox, and that
Yep.
was where I got a call over.
Okay. Confirms McDougan's report on the events that took place during the pursuit. I think the only thing that'll be relevant is what happened at Pillbox since McDougan was down.
Radio because I was booking another suspect, just got finished. That James May called over radio that he needed backup at Pillbox. They had Randall in the back of the Pillbox, kind of barricaded himself in.
See, this is new information. Oh yeah, then he says some crazy shit. Yeah, we'll be noting this.
That
sounded like a fun
when I
scene.
arrived,
Does sound like one.
James
Wish I was
May
there.
and McDougan were shot down.
I mean, I'm pretty sure shooting up Pillbox and also saying that you're going to shoot up Pillbox are acts of terrorism, from my understanding, which is what he's going to be talking about here in a second.
And injured in the back of Pillbox next to Randall and his wife Paula. When I arrived, Shovel was on the door.
Why is Shovel not
and
here? Why is Shovel?
I immediately approached the other door.
Exactly.
3 other officers came to assist. We immediately locked down Pillbox. From there, Randall kept spewing threats at us, saying he will injure more officers if we do not leave the scene, and also calling out threats about killing the newborns at the
Super dark. Like, by the way, if I was there, the second that this is said, we breach. The whole department goes in immediately. That is how you are supposed to respond to that. There is no other option. The fact that that was not done is a failure on the command on scene.
Hospital and the
Jesus.
Riley's children that were sick as well.
What? I don't know what the Riley's children mean. I'm sorry. What the
So,
fuck? The sick kids.
He was
Fuck.
pretty much wanting to take down the whole hospital.
I mean, that's a generalization.
For
Holy
his
shit.
freedom and his
Did
free
you-
escape.
In your belief, did you think he would actually carry out these threats?
Had no reason to believe he wouldn't.
Without a doubt, 100%, considering everything that has led up to this arrest, from him making, like I said, terroristic threats. He's had that courtroom or the house scene. He's smashed in the chief's face a couple times.
Sorry, this is just regarding
Yeah.
what,
Okay, I'm
at
sorry.
that instance, what you believe.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll strike that.
Yeah. He definitely had. As I arrived, 2 officers were already injured, kind of downed. 2 other officers, as I
This
was
isn't
there, I
relevant.
witnessed, got downed as well. So at that point, they between the 2 of them, they had about 4 officers down. In which case they were gonna stay there all night and take the.
Dude, who the fuck was running that scene? That's so poorly run. Like, the thing is so I would imagine a lot of people understand the whole school shooting policy, where, like, you know, anytime there's a school shooting in real life, like, you run in immediately. That's kind of the way it should work when it comes to situations where the person's in the video game, the person's saying, "Hey, I'm gonna kill these kids." Like, you should be going in there just for RP's sake, for realism's sake, and to understand that, like, making threats like that in any barricaded situation, you go in, you shoot them in the face, and you know, you make sure they're dead. I'm not saying double tap, but, you know, if you shoot them an extra time when they're going down, it might be worth it.
The 4 or
That's all I'm
5 of
saying.
us that were left out until they were able to make their freedom.
And how was he apprehended?
So another command officer arrived on scene. We got a bunch more backup. I believe 2 other additionals arrived, so we had a total of, I believe, or possibly 6 to 7 additional officers besides me. So that was when we proceeded to breach the suspects because they were kind of bleeding out. Some of them had took some shots from some of us officers. We were in a standout shootout situation, and
We're losing people.
we proceeded to breach, and they opened fired on several of us, but we have some pretty good
Typical.
aim
Do
on
us
the
all a
force,
favor
so
and don't
he was
ask this person
apprehended
any
after
questions
he was shot at.
retroactively.
Speculative regarding their.
I didn't write it
their
down. I don't
Granted,
care.
granted.
I wasn't even listening.
Okay.
Please do not do a cross-examination. Just say, yes, I have no questions.
No further questions at this time.
Please. Retroactively.
Questions for cross-examination, Mr. Randall.
No questions.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
You may return to your seat
Oh.
with the megaphone.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be recalling witnesses, but you're not recalling him.
Do you have any more witnesses?
So it's less.
At this time, Your Honor, I'm just going to be motioning to enter my final exhibits. Exhibit 1A, Mike Randall's arrest warrant.
We've already looked at all
And
this
I'll just-
shit.
proceed with these. Police report 1296.
Read it. Okay. Yeah, I'll review that in deliberation. This should be a signed affidavit, by the way. This statement should be a signed affidavit.
No further questions or case.
He rests. Would you like to recall any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please stand. And who are you recalling?
I'd like to call May, that May boy, up to that stand.
May I call May?
Mr.
May, return to the stand,
I'm stuck.
please.
All right.
Understand that you are still under oath. What did I call it? Is it recall? You know, I really liked the whole like flow of this court case, by the way. Like, because it felt really structured, right? So like it starts out, both parties make an opening statement. The defense doesn't need to. Then you go and you call witnesses. You get exhibits in at some point. Probably you should have admitted that when you're asking questions during like the questioning, but it's fine. Like, we're all pretty loose on that. Like, everything was really nice. And then you call witnesses, you do cross-examination, then you do a redirect. And then eventually you do that every witness, and then you get to the end where now the defense gets to recall a witness and ask their questions, and then the district attorney gets to redirect and ask that. Like, this is the way a regular case should be handled. This is the way every case should be handled when it comes to a full-fledged case. It shouldn't be anything hard. There should be no... Like, I shouldn't be stressed out at all, myself. Like, I really shouldn't be stressed out at all, and I wasn't. I had fun. I'd say I'm stressed out now, but that's because there's so much fucking info. Like, Christ.
Yo, don't get
2 questions, typical. Keep it short. Let's go. Don't forget the megaphone, sir.
I already have one.
Sonny, don't forget that megaphone.
You said
Mr. May, don't forget the megaphone.
Yeah, Mr. May, don't forget the megaphone.
I got it.
All right.
I got one of them at least.
Proceed.
Mr. May, did you process any evidence regarding to this case?
Yes, I was the officer in charge of doing most of the forensic work, like processing DNA, fingerprints, etc.
And what experience do you have processing evidence?
Yes, I was the officer in charge of doing most of the forensic work, like processing DNA, fingerprints, etc.
And what experience do you have processing evidence?
He answers this incorrectly the first time.
Oh. I mean, it's
Great
part of the
question.
job. We have a great lab at MRPD, which obviously is closed right now. But, you know, take it in there and just do some forensics work. It's kind of just what CID does, as we don't have a actual forensics division.
So, he didn't answer the question.
Within the LSPD.
Mr. May, please answer the question. What experience do you have with the evidence?
In terms of experience, this is not my first time, but I'm still not the most experienced person doing forensic
He
work.
literally made the system. What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean?
So is it possible that you would make a mistake?
I like specifically highlighting these because these are important questions.
Of course, I would say that it's always possible to make a mistake when doing forensic work.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. Let him cook.
All right, no further questions for this witness.
Oh,
Your
thank
Honor.
you. Hey, Firm, you can sit back to your chair. Do you have any cross-examination questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed. This is a full-fledged case. This is how it's supposed to go. Long
During
hours.
your examination of the evidence. Sorry, let me strike that. I'll rephrase.
Who keeps on shooting? Is it Loft
When
doing
examining
that?
evidence, did you just start doing it, or was there some kind of training you had to do prior?
Did you do training for evidence process?
I'm kind of the person within the CID who's taken charge of forensic work. I was not trained by someone else.
But it's not. You are experienced with the equipment. Is that correct? You at least have some
Yes,
knowledge.
I have spent some time in the lab.
What's the question?
Learning. I was not trained by someone else.
But it's not. You are experienced with the equipment. Is that correct? You at least have
Yes,
some knowledge.
I have spent some time in the lab learning how everything works.
So, was this your first time handling evidence?
No.
So many fucking words. God, I'm bored just doing this. I can only imagine what you guys. Like, VOD watchers are fucking on death's door here. Starved to death with content.
It was not.
And is it likely that
Is he perjuring himself?
evidence such as fingerprints?
Yeah, so I said that. Oh. No, I'm an idiot.
Can come back to a completely different person?
It was not.
And is it likely that
Is he perjuring himself?
evidence such as fingerprints can come back to a completely...
Sorry, my nose got really itchy there. Is it likely that evidence such as hold on.
I'm handling evidence?
No, it was not.
And is it likely that
Is he perjuring himself?
evidence such as fingerprints can come back to a completely different person?
So, I don't know the way he answers this, but reminder that fingerprints are very, very unique. Welcome, Adam. Hope you're doing well. You say a 2001 Sea Toaster. Yes. Meet the Sniper music plays. Oh God. That's fucking taking me back. Dun, dun, or something. I think. I don't know.
I mean, there's always a possibility of a mistake happening.
What?
But
okay. He's specifically stating that there's always a possibility of a mistake happening, but he's not answering the question.
I would say
No,
that
there's
the
not.
likelihood of that happening is very low.
Is likelihood a word? Oh. Wait, what? There's an L-I in there? What the fuck? Like Lee? L-I, not L-E? Oh God, that looks worse. Jesus.
Mistake happening.
What?
But I would say
No,
that
there's
the
not.
likelihood of that happening is very low. And the fact that I would consider these probably be very accurate.
This is the expert witness.
No further questions.
Do you have a redirect, Mike Randall?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, typical. Return to your seat. Do you have any other witnesses you would like to recall? Please say no. Put us out of our misery.
Mr.
No,
Randall.
she's
Any other
gonna
witnesses?
call Lucille. Oh, fucking kill me!
Over there up.
Lucille
Ma'am.
McDougan,
Yes.
step forward. Reminder, you are still under oath, and make sure you get the megaphone. Proceed.
How long have you been in law enforcement?
Oh, Oh, here we go. This is where experiences fucking proceed, right? I think that's what you said.
How long have you been in law enforcement?
Oh, here we go.
About 4 years now.
Yeah, that's right.
And in that time, have you ever been forgetful?
Badgering.
You said forgetful?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. This is
Out of
confusing
scope.
the issues. It's
Your,
very
Your
vague.
Honor, we're trying to determine.
He said 11 p.m. Bruh, fuck off, Nick. Why is your time so ass, bro? 7, 8, 9. So, that's... Alright, hold on. 7. And so 7 is 9. Which means 11 is 9, my time. Dude, I need to sleep. Yeah, 9 p.m. is way too late for me after today.
Determine.
You said forgetful?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. This is confuses the issues. It's very
Your
vague.
Honor, we're trying to determine whether or not this officer can be considered an expert witness.
Your Honor, we never claimed she was an expert witness. Also,
Your Honor, you
forgetfulness
claimed that
and
all law
experience.
enforcement was expert witnesses previously.
I did say that.
But her testimony was not presented as that such as an expert witness.
This is awesome.
So, Your Honor, are all law enforcement expert witnesses, or are they not?
What he's specifically stating is that her testimony wasn't presented as an expert witness testimony. I'm just referring to officers of the law as expert witnesses. But what are you objecting on again? Sorry.
Your Honor, it's relevancy. Every person experiences forgetfulness at least once in their life. It's a very vague question that is relevant to the matter.
True. Can you rephrase the question? The question?
All right. How long did you say you were in law enforcement?
4 years.
4 years.
You had a
In that 4
5
years, did you ever leave out key information on a report?
I can't recall that. I have written hundreds, if not thousands.
So you know what's funny here? How would she know if she left it out? If she forgot?
Thousands of reports over the
So
years.
is it a possibility that you could leave out key information?
Absolutely. It's always a
The possibility that you could leave out the information.
possibility.
All right. Did you collect any evidence at the courthouse incident?
At the courthouse incident, yes. I was
This was answered previously. Scene. It's too
the
hard.
one who collected and bagged all the evidence. May was the one who processed it.
One who collected and bagged.
Now, what evidence did you collect?
At the courthouse,
Yes.
it was a shotgun shell, cigar butt, and I believe I got blood samples from some of the victims that were shot.
You believe?
Did you check anywhere else in the courthouse to see if there was any other evidence?
Yeah, we sweeped the entire courthouse. We found lots of posters everywhere. Blood samples from some of the victims that were shot.
Oops. You believe?
Did you check anywhere else in the courthouse to see if there was any other evidence?
Yeah, we sweeped the entire courthouse. We found lots of posters everywhere that said, "This place be leveled soon, Big Rick Army." But
That's important. That's an important thing I need to know. I'm gonna bold this. Speaks more to the terroristic nature of the subject. If that is specifically where we're being led here. Which actually is funny, because the answer to this question actually, in a way, hinders his case a bit. Because if those are true, even though not admitted into evidence, actually, it's not admitted into evidence. Hold on. Oh. Never mind. No, we're continue. Sorry, I'm stupid. It's literally right there. Fucking moron.
other than that, there was no casings or anything else like that in the building.
Is it possible that you missed evidence?
Objection leading, and speculation as well.
Yep. Sustained. Re-ask your question in a different manner or move on.
Did you process all the evidence that was on
Asked
scene?
and answered.
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
You're good. Ah! He's doing a very good job. He is. It's almost like he was a district attorney in his best. I mean, his character.
Why was the cigarette butt and the shotgun shell the only evidence that was cataloged and processed?
That's it. That's not a fair
Objection
question.
foundation.
We're trying to determine whether or not they skipped other evidence or logged other
But
evidence.
she answered that she collected more than what you just stated.
Then why was that the only two things in the report?
It wasn't.
There were other items. Why weren't they cataloged and issued during discovery?
Correct me if I'm wrong, district attorney, but were they not in there? Did I miss that? Did the thing that Lucille McDougan just say being the blood and the posters not cataloged into evidence?
The
This catalog,
posters
we
were
just looked at
included
it.
in that very large folder of images,
What about
as well as the blood. Photographs of the blood are in those photos.
6 Bravo, I believe it is. Yeah, I see a photo of the. Well, this is already listed in the evidence, but the poster was already submitted in discovery, and you had no objections. And I would imagine, and in fact, I'm going to look through all these, and I would imagine that they're going to be there.
All right, no more questions, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you. All right, return to your seat. Stand by. Not you, Miss McDougan. You can sit back down. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna look through these photos.
Your Honor, I'd just like to add, the DNA test results are not present in this report, but that is most likely due to their relevancy to the case. It's unlikely a victim's blood would have any relevancy to Mike Randall's case, especially a local victim.
Yes, and I can see many pictures that were entered into this mega document.
Your Honor,
So-
I believe that if there was blood on scene, it should have been tested. How do we know if that's human blood, pig's blood?
There's dead bodies right next to it.
Speculation.
You
He's
have
just
no-
making a statement. He's not asking a question.
Yeah,
but-
you have no way of telling that's human blood.
But was it
The
tested?
human bodies next to it.
That is true that there was also human bodies right next to it, Miss or Mr.
I
Randall.
arrest my case, Your Honor.
Yes, okay. Do you have a cross, Miss McDougan?
None at this time, Your Honor.
Oh, thank fuck! All right, Miss McDougan.
I was hoping
please
for
take
it.
your seat. Thank you. Leave the microphone. I think that's it. All right. Do you officially rest, or do you want to recall any witnesses?
I have no more witnesses.
Oh, we're done. Okay. I would imagine there's no closing arguments
Your
here.
Honor, I have a closing argument.
I also have closing arguments, Your Honor.
Color me surprised. Let's start
I
with
always
the
have
district attorney. All right. I don't need to hear closing arguments. It's just posturing. It's nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to bring us to the end of today's stream. However, let it be known that I will be streaming very early this morning. As early as I fucking can. So we can give the final thing on this. And we'll be streaming some FiveM later on that day. So it's going to be a double stream day most likely. Holy fuck, am I tired. I am so sleepy. I've been trying to fix my schedule for the last 3 weeks. 2 weeks, sorry. I'll only be back too long, not too long. I am incredibly exhausted. I've had a full fucking day of fuck you. So I do hope everyone else has had a great day, you know? And I do apologize that I had to work out midstream. But the thing is if I didn't, I would be as tired as I am now, and then had to work out, and then go to sleep right after, which anyone who has ever worked out should understand that it's actually harder to get good quality sleep if you had just worked out and exercise, because you're right energetic. So, you know, did my reps, did my thing, my body hurts, but that's the way it's supposed to work. Anyway, hope you have a good rest of your evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow. Early, and then we'll have a regular stream sometime tomorrow afternoon. Anyway, till next time. See you later.